So, why is it that I do what I do? Why do I even care? Why am I even sharing any of these messages? Why am I doing all these events and things on this Instagram and sharing my podcast and doing all of these things on the side and in the future? Where is this dream that I have coming from? That is for me longing to express and to share my excitement with anyone who chooses or stumbles upon these videos or anything at all. Well, first and foremost, it's because it absolutely lights me up. There's such a deep joy and life force that is coming through me when I'm doing these practices, when I'm sharing these teachings, when I find something that works and is giving me this just deep innate joy and peacefulness that is, is not caused by something external, but it's something within. And this is another piece. I remember in my life where I was swayed so much by my mind and the stories that were in the past, where I was swayed so much in my present reality that I was not able to express my heart, that I was not able to express this deep joy that I felt so deeply inside of me. But there were so many of these protectors, so many of these layers, so many layers of these wounds that I could not get past. And it hurt me inside to not be able to be the version of myself that I felt inside. When the waves calmed and I was able to, with perspective, notice how I wanted to act differently. I wanted to be that person, that deep person I felt on the inside. You can call it soul, you can call it heart, you can call it whatever you want it. You can call it love. But acting from a place of deep truth within us, that's what I'm hoping to inspire. That we feel and we live and we express from that deep life force within, that deep knowing. And we're better able to navigate through life, to discern truth from untruth, to express, to move, to dance with life in a way that every single day becomes magical and beautiful and worth living, even if it's on the outside awful. Because we're having this human experience and we're living this one life and we don't know when it will end, but that is the only certainty and the only truth in life, that this life will end, and at some point we might go through change. And so being equipped to change, to recalibrate, to move, to find new steps, to find new dance moves, that's what really excites me. And that's what lights me up, and this is the transmission that I'm hoping to share in anything that I do, to add more beauty, love, inspiration, life, creativity into the world. Because I know and I remember the places where I didn't feel that, and even when nothing in life was going wrong, I also remember the places where I felt like I lived half alive. Half alive and half alive. Where I was present and yet I felt like a part of me was missing. I felt something deeper within me calling me forward. And I was afraid. I was so afraid at every single step, but I kept making these tiny steps towards something that felt even 1% better. And like the layers of an onion, as Shrek has said in the infamous movie, or Donkey rather said it, peeling back those layers to reveal the truth inside. Because our harmful thoughts, they're not the truth. Our constrictions, our limiting beliefs, our wounds and our pains, they are an aspect of the truth, and it's very important to honor them. But when we're able to meet them with love and awareness and reclaim our power, step into our power, illuminate them, with our life force energy, move them and alchemize them. Oh my goodness. Life becomes so much more worth living, and so much more beautiful, and so much more abundant, and the things that we're seeking in life become so much more accessible. When we move from that state of freeze and decline and inertia and shutting down into that state of expansion and feeling limitless possibility, even when nothing around us has shifted or changed, it is the most beautiful and the most empowering and the most inspiring feeling that you could possibly feel. So if you're looking to find what that feels like for you, watch one of my podcasts, watch one of my previous videos, come to a workshop, reach out one-to-one, whatever you're feeling called to. I love to connect. I love to create a community, and I love to grow together, because that's how we grow. We all have keys for each other that help us to grow, to open, to expand, and to discern truth. So I hope wherever you are, you are able to listen to that shimmer within you, perhaps with a new lens of excitement rather than fear, with just 1% more of being excited by the mystery and by the excitement of the unknown, this life force moving through every single moment. Another piece is that I remember in my life where I felt lifeless, where I felt depressed, where I felt numb, where I felt overwhelmed, disassociated. And even 2 days ago, I felt overwhelmed and disassociated and absolutely psychotic, to be honest. And these tools have helped me. And what do I mean by tools? Meditation, yoga, dance, mindfulness, weaving all of them together, breath work, cacao, community, anything else that I'm forgetting, weaving all of those together to create this beautiful web that when shit hits the fan, I don't know if I can curse on this, but if shit hits the fan, it's holding me up. There's something to catch me. There's something to help me alchemize the challenges of life in the most graceful way, even if it's ugly, even if it's messy, even if it's weird, but it's helping me to alchemize the challenges of life in an empowering way rather than a disempowering way. And there's many times in my life where I've taken the position of the victim and was waiting for someone to save me, to help me, looking on the outside. And then when I was able to find those pockets of power within me, reclaim them, and stand more deeply into my own inner truth and my own authority, that's when my life began to change. Not because anything outside of me changed, it's because I felt more empowered. And so I'm so passionate and so in love with seeing other people using these tools that are not so accessible to us. Perhaps they're getting more and more popular, but usually it's a course where you're either studying meditation, either doing dance, either doing this. But for me, it's the full package. All of them are adding or giving a certain flavor or a medicine that is needed for me at any given moment in time. And when I'm able to master them, when I'm able to touch their nuanced experiences and begin to imprint them into my nervous system, I'm better capable and resourced to alchemizing life's challenges. And that's such a superpower. Life will be life, and life will continue to happen as life happens. And having tools that help us to live a more thriving life, that helps us to surf the waves rather than drown in them. And even if we drown, learning to swim in the murky water. Oh my goodness, there's so much power to be tapped into there, to reclaim those dark parts, to reclaim that power and to actually remember what our truth is. So why is it that I do what I do? Because I want everyone in the world to be able to tap into their body's intelligence, into their compass, into their innate wisdom within their body and their mind, to not be swayed by their mind, their shadows, their wounds, their internal parts screaming for their attention, and not let that govern our lives, but instead step more deeply into empowerment and be able to dance with whatever life is throwing at us. And I'm not saying at every single point it's gonna be easy, and I'm not saying that it's easy for me and that I figured it out. I'm still on this journey just as much as anyone else, and every single day I'm meeting more parts of me. And some of them are scary, challenging, overwhelming, hurtful, but it's a little bit easier these days. And I also remember the days where it wasn't so easy, where I could eat 2 packets of crisps at 9 p.m. and feel so much worse the next day, and spend weeks, if not months, in bed, not being able to even go outside. Not being able to notice the beauty and the magic of every single moment. And I'm not saying once again that I have it all figured out, but I get to go outside and from time to time just scream, I love my life. And maybe that's cheesy. Maybe you want to puke a little bit. That's okay. But from someone who wasn't even able to use their voice in public in a way that I wanted to, from someone who was scared to speak, whose voice would get so tight that I wouldn't actually physically be able to speak no matter how much I wanted to. I celebrate this moment, and I celebrate that journey that it got to actually be here, to feel at home in my body, to know what love feels like in my heart, to feel an open-heartedness, to feel pleasure and bliss as my birthright, and to be able to find my way back to all of these states, even if I stumble along the way. And most importantly, know that I'm able to get up from the floor, to get up from the deep depression and find my way back to this moment, to that open heart, even after it closed, to find that way back into sparkles of joy, even if I've turned all the way around and can't seem to find my way back. And I also know what it feels like to not be connected to something in my life that I loved so much. So for example, that for me that's creativity. That for me that's community, that's nature, that's food, that's baking. And to be so lost and in such a dark place internally that everything felt absolutely hopeless, pointless, disheartening and discouraging, and I couldn't imagine another day living on this planet. It just hurt so much. And to be able to find our way back from moments like this, to open once again to love, to life, to creativity, to find our mission, our what lights us up in life, our greatest expression, our peacefulness. That is such a superpower, and I will forever speak about it. The power of expression, the power of alchemy, the power of creativity, the power of our voice, the power of our bodies to alchemize and dance with life. It is absolutely unbelievable. And to make space to listen to the world around us, to make space to listen to each other, to make space so that we can better communicate from our heart instead of from our wounds. It continues to open and unravel for me into greater expression in life, into greater connection and dance in life. And I wish that for every single person in this world, truly and honestly, no matter who you are, no matter how much you're hurting or how much you've hurt other people, I wish that level of peacefulness, that level of joy, that level of home, that level of connection, that level of community, that level of joy to every single person. Because hurt people, and we all have a journey that got us to this place, and if we knew better, we would do better, truly and honestly. So my love to you, and I hope to see you and catch you sometime on this wild journey through life.